first poem that I'm about to share with you is called Great Adventures, a World of Fun, Not a World Away. This is not my first poem. This is, however, the longest poem I've ever written. Printed out on regular paper, it comes out to about 4 pages. This poem is about lucid dreaming. And for those of you who don't know what it is to lucid dream, it's the ability to wake up in your dreams, be fully conscious that you are dreaming within the dream while your body remains sleeping and in that same restful state. You still have the sleep paralysis, which is a mechanism that your body has. Sometimes you might notice if you have ever awakened and can't move your legs, can't move anything, it's your body is still in sleep paralysis. Your mind woke up first and your body wakes up eventually. Some people panic and but in this poem it talks about some of my lucid dream experiences, which I have been having all of my life, as far as I know, as from my earliest memory at age 3. And I can remember that far back because my mother was still alive, and she shared with me a lot of things. So I know that my parents, my mom and my dad, had this ability. My brother, at least one of them that I know of, has this ability, and he and I have actually shared dreams as children, and that's touched upon in this poem. Shared dreams is when two people are having the same dream. What would happen is we would be talking about our dreams to each other, and he would start telling me about a dream he had the night before, and then I would jump in and start adding to the dream because I was there too. And he would be like, yeah. And as he described how it went for him, I would describe how it went for me, and I would be like, yeah. So anyway, that's a shared dream. My dad gave me some tips on lucid dreaming. We didn't have a name for it then. It was just how we dreamed. I don't know if it's a matter of genetics or the way my parents' brains were wired that passed on to us, but it seems like a lot of people in my family are able to do this. I haven't done it in many years, but I can tell you that from the beginning, when I first started lucid dreaming, it was a learning experience on how to control dreams. Lucid dreaming is not just the ability to wake up in your dreams, but you can control your dreams, and you can dream anything you want. You can go anywhere you want to go, and you can experience anything you want to experience without the repercussions, I guess you could say, of this real life experience. You can fly. I can fly. When I first started flying, I talk about it in this poem, and I still remember it clear as day. This dream I had. I would wobble. Would run into phone lines, and I couldn't control the direction. I'd try to go this way and go that way. It was pretty much like this very old comedy show called The Great American Hero. When he tried to fly, if you remember that, maybe you could look it up and see if you can find some old episodes. I don't know. But as I continue to practice in my dreams flying, I would be able to go to the most beautiful places, mind-blowing experience that I would have. It's remarkable. But anyway, lucid dreams are not always about controlling them. As I grew, I learned how to control myself rather than trying to control the other characters in my dream. I would control myself after a while. There are some dreams, and these dreams were the deepest dreams that I've had. Is when I don't try to control anything or anyone at all. I just kind of like sit back like an observer of the events, and I've gotten tremendous insight into myself for real life situations by doing this. Incredible. In lucid dreams is the best place, as my mom taught me, to deal with your fears. And when you deal with all kinds of situations, emotional situations, fearful situations, and things like that, on a mental level, consciously, it flows into your real life experiences and helps you in a tremendous way in dealing with those real life fears. So I could say that I'm an expert on lucid dreaming, yes, but I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to share this poem, and that's what I'm about to do. So I hope you enjoy it. Great Adventures, a world of fun, not a world away. Copyright by Monique La-Touche, 12th of July, 1994. And currently updated. You'll think this is strange, weird, and uncannily odd. I often think so myself, but I just leave it up to God. Of all the places I may journey throughout this solid land, my favorite is where grown-ups don't always understand. To get there, I don't walk or take a bus or train, for my favorite place is located somewhere inside my brain. There are many places to visit in this place called my mind, and when I go, I leave cares of this world we know behind. Some people cannot comprehend exactly what I mean when I tell of the wonderful happenings I experience when I dream. Since childhood days so long ago, up to the time of now, my dreams have been like blessings, though I just can't quite say how. When we were kids, my brother and I would have identical dreams. It hasn't happened in many years, but who knows what that means. We'd tell each other of our dreams and find they were the same, and then we'd plan to meet each other in dreamland once again. At times I dream, then realize that it is a dream I'm in. Then in deep sleep my mind wakes up, and then the fun begins. I used to not be sure if a dream's real life or fake, but my dad told me one morning there was a test that I could take. It was in my early years, though I can't recall the age. He said, just pick up something and try to read what's on the page. I remembered what he told me, though it seemed to be quite strange. But when I tried to read some words, the letters rearranged. Sometimes that wouldn't happen, and the letters wouldn't scurry. But I can't read well in my dreams because the words get super blurry. Or I could pick up any book, but when I try to read what's there, the letters jump around the page or just float up to the air. When I wake up while in a dream, I like to take control. I make things happen how I want because there I'm just a soul. With no body or laws of earth that when awake I can't defy. I walk through walls, hug creepy beasts, and I can even fly. Flying in a dream is something I learned of from my brother, but at first I didn't believe him because kids do lie to one another. I still remember the dream I had when I made my first flight. It wasn't easy at age 7 and took all my will and might. I was in my neighbor's driveway when I took leaps and great big bounds, and I believed that I could do it each time I left the ground. I'd wobble, and direction is what I couldn't quite control, but I was satisfied in knowing I had finally reached my goal. As a beginner and an amateur, I wouldn't wander far from home, but I would say that now there's no place I wouldn't roam. Yes, flying is my favorite trick, and I've learned to do it well. I love to soar throughout the skies with no body as a shell. The exhilarating feeling is something that I cannot define, and I fly anywhere I want with no regard for space or time. Where I mostly wind up going when I leave my dreamland ground is to extraordinary places of nature with pure beauty all around. To see and know the fascinating peace and feel so vibrantly alive is beyond the realm of words, and again, it just can't be described. Sometimes when I wake up, I do another thing that's groovy. I step aside and watch my dream just like it's a movie. Another thing that I might do is to simply pray. And when I'm done, I just let go and let God have his way. I find that when I do this, the dream is always deep. The problem is my mind will soon drift off back to sleep. But there are times when I am lazy and don't feel like being boss. So I sleep and let my conscience rest while my dreams take normal course. Sometimes I like to have adventures or just confront my fears. I learned to do these things and more in dreams through many years. When Mommy woke me from nightmares that seemed ultra real and spooky, she'd tell me to do things in my dreams that to you may sound plain kooky. He cannot harm you in your dream, and so you must be brave. Let him know that you're in charge and command him to behave. Ask him why he scares you, and if push should come to shove, just open your arms and hug him and show him all your love. And you will see the ugly beast will quickly disappear, and you'll feel happy when you find there's nothing left to fear. But most times when I dream, my conscience won't awaken. I still enjoy creative scenes my subconscious keeps on making. Sometimes I dream so vividly that it seems to be for real. Sometimes my dreams are ordinary and there is no big deal. A lot of times I dream about the people that I know. See, there's no telling how I'll dream or just where I might go. Some dreams I can recall, just like I'm there once more. And there are some I can't remember, 'cause they were just a bore. Well, that's enough attention to my nocturnal state of mind. There is another mental place I go whenever I unwind. This is a place I go while in the process of creation, where everyone at one time went, and it's called imagination. This is where I go with thoughts that I desire to ponder. There I let my guards down, and my mind can freely wander. If I have an important decision that I am pressed to make, I imagine some solutions and which directions they could take. Then, one scene after another is played out in my brain until the result feels just right and the answer is very plain. A lot of times I replay events that happen in my day, but I like to turn the tables so they happen my own way. I know adults who just refuse to use their imagination. They feel safer in the real world than a world of fabrication. Well, you don't have to live there. Just visit for a while. You'll find and be surprised at how your stress can make you smile. If you've forgotten the way to let your mind run wild, just remember how you used to be when you were once a child. When you were alone sometimes and had no one to play with, you made believe things that today you know were just a myth. Ever notice how kids at play sometimes talk to themselves? Their dolls and toys would answer them, and friends were little elves. Well, I'm not at all suggesting that you should go that far. But for a moment, open your mind and leave the door ajar. Don't be afraid or ashamed at all to bounce your thoughts around. Throw them and even kick at them in your mental playground. All you really need to do is be a kid at heart. And if you can accomplish that, then you have made a start. The end.